Hello everyone, welcome to Moneycontrol's Budget Manifesto. My name is Prince Thomas and today we'll discuss what corporate India would be looking forward to when Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presents the Union Budget on Feb 1st. It has been a trying year. The pandemic struck and then we had the lockdown which brought all the economic activity to a halt. The companies were forced to stop production, all the expansion plans, capex went out of the window, and in many cases, they were even forced to let go of their people. Since then, things have recovered. GDP contracted even in the second quarter, but it still had a smart recovery from the first quarter. Some of the segments have started doing well. Some of the niche segments in the auto sector have done well in the last 3 months, and so has IT sector. But overall concerns remain, and especially because we have just come after a festive season and also year end, which normally people spend a lot. But will that consumer spending continue? Will the demand hold up? Now there are three main concerns for corporate India. So one is, will consumer spending continue and keep improving and get back to the pre-COVID-19 levels? Can Nirmala Sitharaman do something to put more money in the hands of people so that they spend more and just thus creating more demand? Second would be to incentivize production. Can the finance minister do something that will push companies to set up more facilities, announce more projects, invest more, lend more, and this will not just spur up economic activity but also get us to the third point, which is employment generation. We have seen that employment generation has suffered. Millions of people have lost jobs, both blue collar and white collar. And there's an urgent need to spur that economic activity so that employment opportunities come up. We're not saying that people will necessarily need to go back to the cities, but wherever they are, can employment opportunities come up, and especially for the youth and those who have lost jobs. So these are the three main concerns that the finance minister may be catering to on Feb 1st. So what can the finance minister do to put more money in the hands of consumers? Probably a tweak in the tax slabs, probably an increase in the exemption under ATC, or any other tax tweak that the government could bring in. And this would bring in more money in the hands of people. And this will especially help the consumer front industries, be it in the retail, the FMCG, auto companies, and also help people both in the cities and the rural areas. Second would be to incentivize companies. Now, government has already announced the PLI scheme. Can that be broadened? More companies, more sectors brought under it. And then there you have the tax holidays. Can tax holidays be given for specific sectors which are particularly dented because of the pandemic? Or there are companies which have to give a lot of charges. For instance, in aviation, there are the airport charges, license fees. Can companies get a holiday in that payment? So that is something that the finance minister could look at. Pandemic has exposed the frailty of India's health infrastructure. We have seen people struggling to get beds or ICUs or ventilators. And also in the backdrop it has highlighted the reduced spending on healthcare. So can government incentivize healthcare companies to set up hospitals in the smaller cities, rural areas, semi-urban areas, so that healthcare reaches those that are missing it? And that is probably would be high in the agenda for finance minister, especially in a year that we've been hit by the pandemic. The last area which I would like to underline is that of the MSMEs, the small and medium enterprises that dot India all across. And that's because they are the highest employment generators, and also they are critical for our exports to keep improving. So can the finance minister address their concerns, be it regards to GST, be it regards to availability of raw materials, finance, and spurring demand for them. So if the finance minister is able to address their concerns, it would go a long way in not only spurring economic activity but also generating employment. And so MSME would be a great space to look out for when the minister places the budget on the table of the parliament. So these are some of the concerns that India Inc. would have, and would be hoping that finance minister would be addressing them on Feb 1st.